What's going on, guys? Shay5969 here, and today I wanted to talk about a budget banger from Vosteed. With all the recent hype that Vosteed's been getting, rightfully so, of course, with all the cool innovations they've been coming out with and the cool designs they've been coming out with, this is one I feel like that gets slept on. I've heard it mentioned here and there, but it definitely doesn't get the love that it deserves. So today we're going to dive into the Vosteed Acorn. Alright, and without further ado, guys, here we have the Vosteed Acorn. An absolute budget banger. And like I said, I think it gets overlooked, right, because of all the awesome innovations that Vosteed is doing right now and all their awesome designs. And that is in no way a negative thing, right? Like, they are absolutely killing it in means of new locking systems, in terms of budget knives, in terms of some higher end stuff. Vosteed's killing it right now, and this was the knife that totally won me over with Vosteed. And when I saw the pivot, I was like, man, I want that. It just reminded me of like a 45 shell or something, I don't know. So I was definitely like, oh yeah, I need that. I didn't realize that it was smaller at first, but I do like it. If you choke up a little bit, it has a great forward choil right there to give you a nice, great choke up spot with some nice jimping up there. But other than that, it's a solid like 3.5 finger knife. And then when you choke up, it's a perfect 4-finger knife. The blade is in this black stone-washed finish that Vosteed uses, and it really holds up well. And as you can see, I have definitely taken this to work, used it, open packages, pallets, all kinds of stuff with it, and it still has a great edge. And it is in 14C 28N. It's a flat grind as well, which I don't mind either way. Great jimping up there, really solid lockup, great action. It's on bearings, so. And also, when I bought this, one thing I really liked about it, I wanted a more dedicated front flipper, and this was my first front flipper that I got, and it made me fall in love with the front flipper mechanism, because until this, I did not own one, I did not have one, I did not realize how much fun a front flipper really was. It has a great liner lock that's easy to get to, and easy to reach, and it has some cutouts right there that make your finger, when you feel it, it's like, oh yeah, there it is, which is nice. It's on bearings, so it has a really good smooth action. Whether you reverse flick it with the hole, whether you thumb flick it with the hole, or whether you front flip it, it's great. Really fidgety and fun to play with. This one right here is in their black micarta, which is not too slippery. Sometimes micarta can be a little bit too slippery for me, but when it wears in, it has that great like sticky feeling to it, kind of. And that's exactly how this one is, that it's been used and carried so much. It's not too slippery or anything like that. Great in the pocket, not too big, nice and lightweight. It comes in with a weight of about 3.1 ounces. So it's one of those ones that doesn't drag your pocket down when you're carrying it. This orange lanyard came on the knife, and I just like it, so I kept it. Reversible pocket clip if you wanted to switch it over. So you can do that if you're a lefty. It does have T8 pivot screw, T8 body screw, and then T6s for the pocket clip. So there is 2 different sizes on there. It was designed by a gentleman named Yu Dong, who works for Vosteed and is one of their lead designers. And tip-up carry, so it has the correct profile in the pocket. You can get it in this kind of micarta, or you can also get it in a G10 with a different finish as well. It is a 6.9 inch knife overall. So it's like, if you're a fan of medium knives, this is like the perfect medium size. I have a large glove. I have a decently sized large hand. With a choke up, it's perfect. Even without choking up, it gives you that great resting spot right there. Super functional, super friendly to the pocket, and not like one of those knives you pull out of your pocket to show somebody and they're like, oh my god, that's terrifying. Which, when you get older, I feel like you appreciate that a little more, right? Because you don't always want to pull a knife out of your pocket and freak somebody out, you know? But yeah, when I saw this, I was like, oh yeah, that's a great looking knife. And then when I got it, it totally lived up to the expectations. I bought it when it first came out for $60. But now you can get them for about $43 on Amazon. You can get some for 50. You can get some for 60. It all really depends what kind of fit and finish you get on it. And I'm sure you can get some more upgraded versions as well if you were looking to. Yeah, like I said, great access to that liner lock in there, and the bearings give it a really smooth operating a really smooth operating pivot. So it really does feel nice and buttery smooth, and for a budget knife, it drops shut so nicely. You can't beat it. The front flipper is nice and smooth with those jimps in there, so you know that when you're on there, you feel it. And this was my first front flipper, so now I can front flip the Tenable Bomb Burr because my big old meaty claws. So yeah, but like I said, a 2.9-inch blade. This is 14 Sandvik 14C28N steel. I don't know what the difference between regular 14C28 is and Sandvik 14C28N is. So if you guys know, let me know in the comments. But I do not know what the difference is. But yeah, a great budget knife from Vosteed that gets overlooked. And if you want to grab a Vosteed for under $100, I highly recommend checking this one out. Like I said, you can get one for about $40 to $65, depending where you get it from, depending what fit and finish you get it in. Nice slicey blade shape. It's technically a drop point, but it is very functional with the jimping and the choke up spot for taking to the office and stuff like that. And like I said, Vosteed has really been killing it with a lot of their designs, with their cool Vancor lock and their really cool like pivot push liner lock type stuff. They're killing it right now. I love to see all the cool new stuff coming out. But in light of all that, don't forget about this classic budget banger from Vosteed, the Vosteed Acorn. You can find them in stock. They're not like a hot commodity or anything, so if you're looking for something a little different with a budget price, check out the Vosteed Acorn. You won't go wrong. Comes with a real nice cloth pouch, box, all that stuff. Vosteed Acorn, man. I figured we could also do a little size comparison since I typically tend to forget stuff like that, right? So here we got the Vosteed Acorn, and I brought out a couple familiar knives. We got the QSB Penguin to stack it up against. Now again, this is a 6.9-inch overall knife with a 2.9-inch blade length. Yeah, so nice and I would say medium size, right? So there's the Penguin, almost dang near same size, but because of that Penguin has that sheep's foot on it, it has a little bit more blade length to it. But other than that, it's about identical size. And then I brought something ridiculously large, an MSI. So if you have a MSI, a Microtech MSI, you know that's a full inch, 9-point-something inch knife when it's out. So if you like bigger knives, this is a medium-sized knife. Do not go into it thinking this will be a full-size knife. It's a perfect 3.5 finger grip, and with that choil right there, it makes it the perfect 4-finger grip, perfect choke up spot, very ergonomical. Yeah, I just wanted to bring this one up to people's attention once again because in light of all their newer stuff, I feel like this one gets slept on, and it is really good. It far surpassed all the things I expected it to, and I love taking it to work. One, you can hand to non-knife people and they won't lose their minds, which as I get older, I feel like that's kind of important too, right? I don't want to always scare people. So, but yeah, I appreciate you guys watching as always, and we will see you guys on the next one. Bye.